to some positive news, right? Some positive news. So, as most of you all know, we just saw Bolivia pull a coup of a coup. Pulled a coup of a coup. That's what we just saw. And they were able to do so under a right-wing military US-backed regime after their government was overthrown after Evo Morales was exiled, their former president. After the subsequent bloodbath that followed the coup, you know, the killing of indigenous Americans there, or indigenous South Americans, indigenous Bolivians. I mean, and here's what's the wildest part about this to me. Most of you all know I'm an election integrity activist. How many times have I said all this stuff that we're dealing with right now, all these issues that we have, man, imagine if we had election integrity, what we could do. Imagine if we fought for election integrity, what we could do. And Pasta brought up, Pasta from the Convo Couch earlier. If you haven't checked out this stream, go check it out. Share this video, by the way. Like this video. We have 31 likes. We should have 77 if we have 77 people watching. You better hurry up. But in all seriousness, when you have election integrity, and Pasta brought this up, he was saying a lot of people complain because they wish that Evo Morales wasn't such a pacifist. A lot of people wish he would fight fire with fire. A lot of people were complaining and saying he didn't want it enough. But Evo Morales kept stepping back and saying, don't worry about it. Why do you? So for those of you who don't know, Bolivia, the right-wing coup, the de facto government, which is the military coup, they kept pushing back the election. People don't know that. They kept pushing it back. They had been supposed to have this election, but they kept pushing it back. And Evo Morales, sitting in Argentina, was like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Guys, be patient. Don't worry about it. Trust me on this one. This is a man who's been president for 3 terms. He was he's about to be president for 3. I think he's going for his 4th. He knows this election system in and out. He secured the election system to make sure people's votes counted. Also understanding the amount of imperialism that was coming from the West and the United States specifically. So he waited. And guys, don't worry about it. I prepared for just such an occasion. And their ridiculously secure election system put the Socialist Party on top, ousted, at least governmentally, the right-wing de facto military-backed government. And now the people of Bolivia have and will have a president who represents them. You want to talk about election integrity, ladies and gentlemen? That's a different level. Don't get me wrong. Venezuela is like on that level too. That's the only way Maduro keeps winning. The Carter Institute once praised Venezuela, saying that the entire world should have an election system as secure as theirs. And I'm assuming that Bolivia probably has something very similar to that. And that's why Evo Morales was so patient. Election integrity is that important because even though we see this corruption from the neocons, from the neoliberals, from the Democrats, from the Republicans, from the Debbie Wasserman Schultzes to the Nancy Pelosi's to the Mitch McConnells, we see all this corruption. We see, we are the ones who started the coup, right? In Bolivia. We were the ones who backed that coup. We were the ones who backed the attempted coup in Venezuela. We're the reason that Syria is in tatters right now. You know, it all started that year we sent humanitarian aid. if we had a secure election system, we could get him out. Why do you think they disallow us from securing the election system? Why do you think that they ignore us the entire primary, and then one side blames the other side for election fraud? Why do you think that the Transitional Integrity Project right now is trying to rig the election, and even basically have admitted that they are going to commit a coup if Donald Trump wins by a landslide? Now, Donald Trump's people aren't going to let him lose. Believe that. Like I said, us progressives, the independents out here, we're going to be sitting back like, man, this shit getting crazy, ain't it? Yeah, man. Did you try the popcorn though? That shit buttery. It's good. It's good. Yeah, man. Me too. You got your Dr. Pepper? We're going to have to sit back and watch it. I mean, we're going to cover it. But I don't got no skin in either of them winning. I do have skin, however, in Biden winning and then never being held accountable. That is going to be a problem. And that's something I am worried about. I don't have to worry about Trump being held accountable because everybody's trying to hold Trump accountable every single damn day. Every single day. I don't have to worry about that. But I do have skin in the game as far as Biden winning and then never being held accountable and never being challenged. So the Democrats right now have already promised a coup. That's what go look it up. Transitional Integrity Project. Look it up. It's in the Boston Globe. They aren't shy about it. This is not conspiracy theory. This is not conjecture. This is fact. They're open about it. And guess what? The Transitional Integrity Project would never have even gotten legs and would have zero hope of succeeding if we had a secure election. If we pass Tulsi Gabbard Securing America's Elections Act and then took steps even further than that, if we had ranked choice voting, if we had hand counted paper ballots and open source blockchain, because open source blockchain, what it is that gets you the results quick, and then and it also tracks everything that happens during the election, and then of course you have paper ballots for verification. So open source blockchain technology for speed and accuracy, hand counted paper ballots for, or excuse me, reverse. Hand counted paper ballots for accuracy. Open source blockchain for speed and accountability. Because if somebody does try to mess with that source code, you can track it and figure out exactly what they did, when they did it, and where did it come from. It's been a bleak few months year. It's been a little bleak. But what happened with Evo Morales, it sparked the best out of his people, man. It really did. I wish Americans had a little bit more of that in their heart. And I know some people, not a lot of people, but some people seem to think that this has nothing to do with the lithium triangle, Bolivia, Argentina, and Chile. But you would be sadly mistaken. And the reason they say that is because, so Nevada does have a lot of lithium, right? America in general has a lot of lithium. But first of all, mining lithium, it got to be done right. And even if it's done right, if you do it in an area that can be affected, where the environment can be upset, then there's a whole different problem on your hands. So Bolivia, Chile, and Argentina have areas that are so vast and so far away from everybody. And then you have, of course, Evo Morales, who makes sure that the lithium is mined safely. Yeah, we have lithium in this country. That's true. But China is a whole, I can link my video if y'all like. And if put a comment in the description if you do want me to do it, or put a comment below if you want me to link that video. But I go into a crazy deep dive that basically surmises that China has control, for the most part, over Chile's. No, excuse me. We had control over Chile's, and then China began to get control over Bolivia's, and then they already, if I'm not mistaken, had control over a lot of Argentina's. And so it was about to get bad for us. And if you know anything about how we go about our business, it's like this. Yeah, people, Syria is about oil, right? We know this. Yemen is about oil. We know this. But why will we do that? We export 93% of our own oil. We frack for oil. We have oil here in the States. Because it's not about getting the resource. We have the resource already. It's about stopping you from getting the resources, because capitalism is inherently about stopping competition, not creating it, despite popular belief. This is fact. So, it's important for people to understand that aspect of this. The lithium is largely why we were there. That is the lithium triangle. Think about it like this. Remember when Kamala introduced that bill with Kirsten Gillibrand and a couple of other people in the Senate, and then Levin, a fracking lobbyist, by the way, introduced another bill in the House, and the bill was to do what? Convert all cars in X amount of time into specifically battery-powered electric vehicles. For those of you who don't know, those electric vehicles, the batteries that are in them, at least currently, at least the ones that are going to be part of that bill, those batteries are powered by lithium. China is fully aware of this, and they've been taking steps to be able to compete in that department. And so have we, of course. That's why they introduced that bill. Now, for us, it's not about the environment. It's about the fact that that lithium requires fracking. And Zach Levin, is it Zach Levin? I think it's Zach Levin. It's either Zach Levin or Mike Levin. I can't remember which one. But his last name is Levin. He's a representative from Southern California. He used to be a fracking lobbyist. And he was a fracking lobbyist, the guy who introduced the bill in the House. And if you make a mandate that every car starting this year, up until this year, has to be an electric car that takes batteries, you're securing the bag for your fracking lobbyists. You're giving them a monopoly on transportation. And on top of that, you're putting yourself in a position globally to provide the vehicles and the batteries for everyone's electric cars. Facts. Whenever I get done with this and I'm going to put up this clip, I'll go ahead and link that video, because that was one of my favorite videos that I've ever done. I spent 8 hours to 9 hours researching for that vid, like deep research. All the company connections. I talk about everything, the electoral system there, how Supreme Court judges get elected, like all of that. So who knows? I might just re-upload it. I might re-upload it just so people can see it. So, yeah, man, I just wanted to show y'all that. I wanted to talk about that because I feel like that's such an important part of what doesn't get discussed. Like that part gets left out, and progressives know about it, but they think it's about going to get that lithium. Like, yeah, that's a piece of it, but like we do have lithium here, but that's not the important part. The important part is stopping your ass from getting the lithium. Just like the important part of us going into or staying in Iraq, facilitating the destruction of Yemen, implementing crippling sanctions on Iran, destroying Syria. That's all about stopping your ass from getting oil, because we don't want the competition, nor do we want competition for our allies. Sally Yates replaced Chris Wray at King and Spalding. Well, did that just happen? Did that just happen? I gotta look into that then. That's dope though. Or not dope, but it's dope that you let me know, because I did not see any news about that whatsoever, unless I missed it a couple of days ago. Appreciate you letting me know that though.